So 22 degrees and sunny in Adelaide right now. Is this what you imagine day one of pre-season at Hawthorn?
I mean, I grew up here, so things can change hour to hour in Melbourne. Obviously, comparison to yesterday, it's a bit different.
How excited are you to get stuck in and get into your work?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've filtered in the last 2 weeks here and there with the young boys, and it's been really exciting. As it's obviously been noticed, it's a really young group, and keen to get a part of it.
What are your expectations of being a part of Hawthorn Football Club?
I mean, just what we've shown in the last 2 weeks is just great intent to get better. It's obviously a young group and they've got lots to learn, and I've got lots to learn myself. So, we're going to have high expectations of ourselves and as a group, which we should, and come out and play the best football we can.
Some experience has gone out of the club during the trade period. Does that put extra onus on you coming in as an experienced player to lead the way?
Yeah, I think so. I think, as a 27-year-old and played a little bit of footy, I think, I put that on myself as well to try and be a leader on and off the field. Obviously, as you said, there's been experience gone, but, they've got a real core group of, sort of ages 23, 24, which, the club's really building on, and, I'm keen to be a part of it.
Does that excite you to explore that part of your game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I did a little bit of stuff at Port Adelaide, and, this is going to be a greater opportunity to, excel my leadership and, come out of my shell and try to be that leader that, if they want me to be.
Are there areas of your game that you're still trying to build on, improve on, and can you let us inside how you're going to try to do that with Hawthorn?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was part of my reason of coming to Hawthorn. I think, this is the best fit for me going forward, and, I still want to improve my football, and I still think I've got improvement to go, and, I think a club like Hawthorn, where I can show that, is going to be great next year.
When you speak to Sam and the line coaches, development coaches, what messages are they giving you about your footy?
Yeah, I think, just to bring my strengths, and, that's outside speed and, running capacity. And I think, that's what I want to bring to the game, and, that's what I base my football around. And, the conversations that I've had with Sam and David as my line coach, is just to bring that on game day and, complement of what the squad's already got.
You said you've mixed in a little bit with the younger players over the last couple of weeks. What are your impressions been, and who have you been able to chat to and get to know a little better?
Yeah, really good. I think, their training intensity has been really high, and I've come from a club who's got a really high intent. They've got the same. They're really hungry to grow as a group, and the likes of like John Newcomb, can really bounce off, and they really bring that energy in training. And
what about the senior guys who you'll get to train with today, who are you looking forward to working with?
Yeah, obviously, it's our first day back, but a lot of the boys have already been back. My good friends of Chad and Jarman have been back, but getting to the likes of Mitch Lewis and Luke Bruce and getting to know them and play with them is going to be really exciting.
So you mentioned Jarman and Chad there. The club historically has had a couple of negative things regarding the Indigenous side of things, just in the headlines, and that's a long time gone, and personnel has changed. But I've spoken to Chad before about wanting to make sure he creates a great environment for Indigenous players here. Jarman as well, Yeah. Is it important to you to be sort of taking Hawthorn into the future, making it a really culturally safe place?
Absolutely. The work that I've done with Chad and Jarman back in Port Adelaide was, I know how keen they are about their Indigenous culture, and I am as well. And what they want to do is just create a really safe environment. And the conversations that I've had with people in terms of Sam Mitchell and Rob McCartney, it couldn't be, it's exactly like that. They're creating a really safe environment here, and they're really keen to delve into the Indigenous side of things.
There's been talk of possibly an Indigenous all-star team playing against a world stars team to start the season next year. Do you like the idea of that game and what the culture that can showcase?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be our ability to showcase the many cultures of AFL football, and if I'm lucky enough to be picked in that game, I'll obviously put my hand up, and why would you not want to play playing against some of the best talent in the AFL, and it'll be a really exciting time.
Round one, pretty good start for Hawthorn coming up against a bitter rival, MCG. Potentially crowd of 70, 80,000, maybe more. How exciting is that as a Hawthorn player to get to debut in that game? Yeah,
for sure. Hopefully, I'm playing that game, and I'm going to learn about the Essendon rivalry pretty quickly. I think it's going to be a really exciting time for the footy club and for our group to come out on the MCG on Sunday and verse them.
So, photography hobby of yours, being back in Melbourne, has that allowed you to explore any new areas to take photos or to have?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, getting to 27, I still like to think I've got a bit of football left in me, but obviously it's coming to that, I guess the end of part of my career, and that's something that you obviously got to plan on, and I think that's that involved my move back to Melbourne as well. I've got to start thinking about what's post-football, and obviously photography is a big passion of mine, and whether that's doing some work experience here and there with someone, that's what I'm going to find in the next couple of years and really delve into.